Hello guys, today's video is going to be on 6-point ratchet wrenches versus 12-point ratchet wrenches and spline drive ratchet wrenches. It's not about tooth count or brand or length or if it's reversible, any of that. It's just about 6, 12, and spline drive. Just my thoughts. I want to put out there, I live in a salt belt, so that's going to make a difference. If you're in California or down south, that'll make a difference for you guys, which one you probably like. But up here, salt belt, you want something that's going to be able to handle all that salt. Now that being said, any ratchet wrench, I don't recommend you break loose a stubborn fastener or torque it down to specs. They're not made for that. Once you break it loose, this is what you should grab. Just my thoughts. Let's dive into this. This is a 6-point SK. I live in a salt belt. Once I break loose a fastener, I always try to get a 6-point box on, ratchet wrench on first, if I can get it on there. It just grips the fastener better, and you got a very low chance of rounding off the fastener with a 6-point box, especially in a salt belt. This is an SK. This is 216 positions. We're not talking too much about that, but it's got 4 pawls. So it's not 216 teeth, it's positions. But you can see how good it goes on a fastener. Very, very snug. And you live in a salt belt, a 6-point box is your best friend. This is just this one's an Ulsa. I've had this set for a while. I really like this set. Another 6-point. You know, once I break loose a fastener, if I can get a 6-point ratchet wrench on there, that's what I usually grab first. See how snug that is? It just fits so well on a fastener. You know, it's funny because, I mean, when Technic came out with a new line, they don't have a 6-point box. They went to the 12 like everybody else. And a lot of people aren't happy about that. I like 6-point a lot for ratchet wrenches and regular wrenches. It just fits a fastener so well. And I got a Star Work here, and this one's got the offset. I really like these in the reverse lever. I did a video on these guys. If you want to check it out. These things are pretty nice. These are a good bang for the buck. They're made in Taiwan. This one fits very well. Very, very well in that fastener. That's one of my top sets there. So once I break a fastener loose, I always try to grab a 6-point ratchet wrench first when I can get it on a fastener. Now we're going to go to the 12 points here. This is the Icon. This is a long beam. This one is reversible, which I like, and it's got the offset. 12 points got a little bit more play in it. As you can see, you know, but sometimes that's all you can get on a fastener. Even once you break it loose, you're in a confined area. You know, you just can't get the next tooth too good. There's an obstruction in the way. You're going to probably go grab a 12-point box. I think you need all of them, guys. This is what I'm trying to say. If you were a professional mechanic and you work every day on cars, you want everything you can get your hands on in your arsenal. That's a nice ratchet wrench. 12-point is always my second option, and there's nothing wrong with 12-point. I just prefer 6. That's just my opinion. Now, if I live down south, that might be different. Here's the Williams. The mechanism's got more slap than the bolt does, but these Williams are pretty good, though. They got the offset and reverse lever as well. I'm not here to try to sell you any particular brand. I'm just talking 12 versus 6 versus spline drive. 12 points is always my second option. It may be your first where you live. I don't know. This is just my opinion. And then my old trusty Blackhawks. They got the offset and the reverse lever as well. I've used this wrench so many times. It's got a little bit of play in it compared to this 6-point, but these are pretty smooth. Nice wrench. 12 points got a place. They all do, guys. I mean, that's what I'm trying to tell you. If you're just a weekend warrior, you don't work on cars a lot, maybe just get one set, I guess. But if you can afford it, work on cars a lot, you want as many options as possible. And then we're going to get to the old spline drive. I don't have any regular length ratchet wrenches in the spline drive. A lot of guys hate spline drive. A lot of guys got mixed feelings. I don't know. They're not, they don't know what they think. They don't know if they want them or don't want them. Well, they got a place. First of all, these are long. And for suspension work, these are nice. Once you break the fastener loose, I mean, break the fastener loose with the other end, but this is the spline drive too. I would grab a 6-point if I could to break loose the fastener and then go to these because they got a lot of reach. But the spline drive, I even got mixed feelings about them. But they're good for a lot of different things, you know, a regular 6-point fastener. How about the old square, the tractors with the old square bolts? How about a Torx? Or how about a spline bolt? Spline head. There's all different kinds of fasteners out there, even though 6-point, this type of fasteners, you're going to see probably 90% of the time. But they got a lot of play, and they tend to mangle the bolt up a little bit too, I think. You know, you're working on a real show car or something. I don't know if I would use them. This just happens to be a gear wrench. I'm not here to talk about brands, but they got a lot of play in them. But they call them universal spline. There's a reason they call them universal, right? How about when you buy universal parts for your car? One size fits all, right? Sometimes that's not good, is it? You ever buy a universal muffler? It's not too good, is it, guys? This happens to be a mountain here. This is an easy red. This one's not too bad as far as it fit for a spline drive. Just my, you know, if I'm looking at suspension work, I'm going to grab these. That's typically how I use spline drives is when I'm doing suspension work because these are long. This has got the offset on them. This is rebranded by so many companies. It's Mountain, and they got K-Tool, and they got, oh my God, I think Carlisle's got a set, on and on and on, you know. Icons are like that. This one doesn't fit too bad for a spline drive. Just my thoughts on it, guys. Let me know what you guys think. For a recap here, once I broke the bolt loose, if I'm going to a ratchet wrench, I always try to get my 6 points. I always grab my 6 points first when I can use them. If I can get it on the fastener, if it's not too tight of an area. Living in a salt belt, that's typically your best friend. My second option is always the 12-point. But this one here is a little bit longer, so this one gets used quite a bit because it's a little bit longer 12-point. That's always my second option for a ratchet wrench. And if I'm doing suspension work, and once the bolt's loose, I always grab these spline drives. Just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. And I kind of had a request for this, and it's too bad that a lot of brands are getting away from the 6-point box because I always like 6-point box. I mean, Tekken's not making them, like I said, and Capri's getting out of it. A lot of them are getting out of the 6-point box game. Let me know what you guys think, and leave a comment below, and I'll get back to you. And we're going to start a new series pretty soon. I don't know what day, and I haven't told anybody what it is yet. So, hey, suspense is good, right, guys? Leave a comment below. I'll get back to you. Take care.